Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So hopefully you guys have had a great day. My day was so busy. I left at, I think, 10:15 this morning, and I got home at a little after 5. I was on a Zoom call and then hung up with that. Helped my husband make dinner, we ate, and now it is Facebook Live time. So I didn't get much time in the studio. I was out this morning just prepping for tonight's live because I knew I wasn't going to have time when I got home. So hopefully you guys had a great, productive day. I got a lot done. I was a little irritated because everywhere I go, there's literally one person working the register, and the lines are so long, and I just had to let it go and enjoy the nice and quiet time that I got alone. But then I went and had sushi with my girlfriend Heather in Scottsdale, so that was amazing. I think I'm so tired because I ate so much today, but it was well worth it. So that was my day in a nutshell. Hopefully your guys' was good. Good evening, Stephanie. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. So today's project is kind of it's not kind of. It is a fall card. I know we're still into the Halloween mode, but I thought I would do something a little bit different. Again, it is super quick and easy, and the designer series paper literally just does everything for you. You don't have to add a lot when you use designer series paper. Good evening, Valerie. Hello, Darlene. So I am going to go ahead and flip you over, and we are going to start crafting. So today's card, I am going to be focusing on the Hello Harvest. I'm just making sure we are live on my Facebook and everything looks good. So we're using the Hello Harvest. I didn't use the dies for the card we're going to be doing, but they do have dies. I should have brought them over. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. But the dies cut out the pumpkin and a couple other pumpkins, and then these flowers, and then there's a banner for this guy. But we are just using the Hello Sentiment. And we are bringing in I think it's called Rustic Harvest Designer Series Paper. So I can't say enough about their designer series paper, Stampin' Up's paper, but this just knocks it out of the park. It is so fun and beautiful, and literally it just screams fall. So I wanted to bring in, this is what I did for one of the pillow gifts for the retreat. So everybody got the fall gnome, and this is the designer series paper that I used. And these two are the pieces we're going to be using for tonight's card. So I did check before I went live, and the little leaf labels are on back order, but I do have a couple of these in stock. So I am going to give them free if you want to place the order for the Harvest, the Hello Harvest bundle and the designer series paper. I will give you a pack of these for free. I'll drop them in the mail so you can either shoot me a message that you placed the order, or I'll get an email, but these will be yours for free when you get this bundle. The designer series paper is on low inventory, but if you order quickly, you'll be able to get it. So let me bring in the card we're going to be doing. So it is a very simple and quick card to put together. Literally, we're just doing cardstock and designer series paper. And I forgot to put the basic white piece on the inside, but lucky I have some beside me. Usually when I use the kind of taupe colors or the Cajun Craze, I will do very vanilla on the inside because I think those pair a little bit better together. But there's basic white in the designer series paper, so that's why I went ahead and will put the basic white on the inside. So this is a super fun, easy card. There's not a lot of cutting and die cutting in it. I'm going to show you how to tie a little double bow as well. So that is what we're going to be playing with. So I will I did bring a couple cards over to make on the live, and I do have to show you, if you accidentally cut your designer series paper the wrong direction, don't throw it away. Don't start over, because I did that and I just rotated the card. So I want to show you that as well. So before we get started, let's see. Hello, Mary. Hello, Marie. And Jill, welcome. Oh, thanks, darling. Yes, the paper is absolutely gorgeous. So I have a piece of Cajun Craze. Took me a minute to remember. 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it right in half at 5 1/2. I told you guys I think I'm in a food coma. I ate way too much food today. We pigged out on sushi, and it was amazing. So I'm going to put this on the inside just so I don't forget. So this piece of basic white is 4 by 5 1/4. So it's just a layering piece that's going to go on the inside. And there is that. We have our designer series paper, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So we can literally layer this down. There's not much to this one, and you can get 6 cards out of each sheet of designer series paper. So we're going to layer that piece, and then we have our 2 pieces here. So you could use the same backing of this guy if you wanted to. That's what the back looks like. But I really liked this designer series paper, and I thought it paired really well with it. So this is 1 inch by 4 inches, and our Cajun Craze is 1 1/4 by 4. So not super difficult measurements either. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and I am going to just put this right in the center. So I don't have the little top and the extra piece on the top or the bottom of this guy, just the sides. And adhesive on the back. And you can really put this anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be in any specific spots. So let me bring in the pack of the leaf labels that I have open. We are actually going to be using this in our, I think it's November 5th is our next class. The first Saturday in November. So I have my mementos and I have my hello. So I'm going to ink this up. And I'm just going to stamp it in the center. There we go. Perfection. Now, these guys do have a little hole in the bottom of the leaf. I didn't really want the hole to show, so I put the gems that come with the kits. I put a little gem over that hole so you wouldn't be able to see it. So we're going to flip that over and grab some dimensionals. I cleaned up my Facebook Live table, and there they are. I knew I didn't take them away. So I literally have so much space around me. It is amazing. I usually don't have much space when I'm working and doing a Facebook Live, but today I do. And I just want to offset this just a smidgen. I don't want it to be super straight. And then I have some of our baker's twine, and I'm going to just take and double this. You want enough to be able to tie a bow. And grab your paper snips. Snip that off. And I don't know if I have it beside me, and I don't think I do, but I do have something that will work. So I know this is your eyeglass cleaner. I actually clean my screens before I go live, but it's kind of similar to a baby wipe. But you see how the string is kind of a little like bent because it's on the roll? If you just take a baby wipe and take this and run it over it, it will straighten your twine so you can have more flexibility with tying it in a bow. So that actually works really, really good. I would use a baby wipe, but I didn't have one beside me. So use what you have beside you. So I'm going to go ahead and line up these 2 edges, and I'm going to cut that side. So now I have 2 pieces. So now I'm just going to just tie a normal bow. It is not difficult, but especially if you have big hands, it's a little bit harder to get these in there. But it does work, and it gives your card a completely different look. So there we go. That is how you tie a double bow. And then you can pull your strings down, and they're not going to be perfect. And I think I like that when you can definitely tell that there's 2 strings in there. Whoever gets this is going to be like, oh my goodness, look at that. That was pretty cool. grab a mini glue dot. Try to grab a mini glue dot, and I'm just going to come up here and put it right at the top of the little leaf. And you can trim these guys if you want to make it a little bit smaller. My original card, I did not cut these. That is what I tied, that little tiny itty bitty little bow. So that's why I said give yourself a little extra space, because you can always trim the edges if you want to. That guy was a little difficult to tie, but I did manage to do it. So then I'm going to bring in some of our gems. And usually I try not to put gems on top of dimensionals, so I am going to grab one of the smaller gems and put the smallest one on the leaf because it is on dimensionals. So then I'm going to come over here and grab a couple of the bigger ones, and these ones I'm going to put on the card itself. So there you go. That is how quick and easy this card is to put together. So remember how I said if you cut your designer series paper the wrong direction, if it's directional specific, don't throw it away, because you can literally do the same exact card but turning it vertically instead of horizontal. I always have to think on that one. So if you turn it vertically and not horizontal, you don't have to worry about messing up your designer series paper. So there's always a way to get around it. So I used this designer series paper, and I made a couple of them because I really, really enjoyed this design, and it was so easy to put together. These ones I did put the basic white in because I am going to be using these pretty soon. But we're going to continue making some fall cards. And remember how I said you could get 6 out of 1 sheet of designer series paper? I literally just cut the entire sheet, so I now can get 6 cards done and off of my to-do list. I think that is the best thing, is to get stuff off your to-do list. That's what I was planning on doing this morning. I was supposed to meet Heather at 11:30 in Scottsdale, and I left my house at 10:15 to run by the bank, run into Kohl's, kind of just run some errands before I headed to Scottsdale. And every single stop I made, it was not as quick as I was anticipating. But I did get them all done. I was 20 minutes late to lunch, but that's okay. I got all my errands done. So there we go. And if you wanted your strip to go horizontal instead of the vertical way, just cut it at 5 1/4 inches. You can do the same width, so do 1 1/4, but 1 1/4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches long. And then same with your designer series paper. Do it 1 inch by 5 1/4, and you could do it, your strip horizontal instead of vertically. You guys probably are laughing on the other end, like, oh, one of these days she is going to know her measurements and her vertical and horizontal. I don't know. Don't count on it. Those guys I struggle with. Oh, look, it wasn't quite dry, and I got ink on my... So I'm just going to lay this on here because we're going to put the basic white on the inside, so it's not going to be tragic. It did come right off on my work surface, but... Oh, see? So give this a couple extra seconds to dry. I don't think it's as quick drying as the other using our cardstock. So we'll tie another bow. The only bad thing about using these guys is they dry really quickly. So a baby wipe, you can get a couple of these out of one baby wipe, but these little eyeglass things dry really quick. So we're going to take it. I did tie a couple extra, but I want to show you guys just so you know how to tie a double bow. So I took a pretty long strip. It's probably 6 inches, 7 inches, and I doubled it. And I'm just going to trim that edge. And then keep them together as you tie 2 bunny ears. And you're going to cross those bunny ears over. And this little loop is going to go through the bottom. It's supposed to go through the bottom. There we go. Whew, that one was a little bit harder than it needed to be. And then pull. There we go. So practice your double ribbon bows. I don't even know if that's the name of them, but that's what I called it. Good evening, Heather. I just looked over and saw you logged on. How are you? Did you have a good vacation? Her and her boyfriend went to Durango and did the train ride. Oh, Bo and I did that once. It was amazing. So if you haven't done it, well worth it. So there we go. And let me bring in some gems, and then I'll put the basic white piece on the inside, just so I don't forget. I always forget that part. And then when I go to write a card out, I have to stop what I'm doing and put a piece in the inside. So these cards would definitely go together pretty quickly, and it doesn't have to just be for fall or Thanksgiving or anything. You could use any of our designer series paper, kind of like these two that I showed you earlier, that I intended it to go this way, but I cut all of the designer series paper wrong. So we'll put one more together just so we can chit chat for a little bit longer, and then I will let you guys go to do your thing and be with your families. Bo has been without me all day long. I don't know what he did all day. He probably enjoyed the peace and quiet. But he would never say that to me. He would be like, I miss you. I don't like it when you're gone all day. But deep down in, I'm sure he liked the no honeydews, the list of honeydews I have for him. So there we go. I probably am just going to go ahead and stamp this because it does take a second to dry. I think it's just because of the way that, how thick it is, how thick these little leaves are. And remember, they are on back order right now, but if you order the bundle and the designer series paper, I will mail you a full pack of the leaves. And I can drop those in the mail this week. Well, the week is almost over, so, but pretty close. I'm just going to lay this on the inside so I can put the dimensionals on. And I was I had a Zoom call today, and one of the ladies said that she always stamps the inside of her cards just so there isn't as much writing that she has to do, which is brilliant. And I've heard that quite a few times. So you could really take some of our larger stamps and stamp sentiments on the inside. I never know what people want, so I write everything on a sticky notes so they can reuse the card. So there's that. And here is a bow that is already done. We should tackle triple bows. You think that could be possible? I can barely get a double one done. I don't know if I can do triples. So there we go, and let me grab one more piece for the inside, and all of these cards are done and ready to be used. I actually really did contemplate on doing my little pop-up on the inside. So I have one sitting here, and I thought about doing it on this side. It's not the right designer series paper, I would have to change it, but you could really even make this, excuse me, into a gift. Oh, I smudged it. Dang Skippy. I'll fix it. I'll put another one on there. But I thought a gift card would be cute on the inside as well of these guys. So even though I smudged that one, I guess, stamp all of the ones that you're making, set them aside, and then cut your designer series paper and start assembling. Because it does take a hot minute for these guys to dry. But there you go. So here are the cards that we did, and it doesn't have to be vertical or horizontal. You could also do them vertically. I don't know why. I literally cannot get that straight. One of these days, I probably will, but who knows? So you can do them this way or that way. You choose, but there's both ways are super cute and super easy, and you don't have to do much because the designer series paper does all the talking for you. So that is your nice, quick Facebook Live for this evening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I've inspired you to get into your craft room and start crafting. I do have to work tomorrow morning, which is strange. I usually work in the afternoon, so I won't get any time crafting tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday because I have Lucas. But I will get out here next Tuesday to come up with something else for you guys' lives for next week. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget, if you order the bundle and the designer series paper, I will drop one of those kits in the mail to you because those are on back order until November 7th, I believe. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see everybody on Tuesday for another live. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.